Okay, everybody ready? Yeah. I cakap bahasa Inggeris dan bahasa Melayu. Is that alright or you want me? English first. Okay, alright. Okay. Jadi, I want to summarize for the benefit of the press what transpired for perhaps the last 7 days or so. Okay. As you can appreciate, we have adduced evidence through this witness in the cross-examination that 1 MDB was never the idea of Datuk Seri Najib, because the historical perspective is 1 MDB was in fact TIA, Terengganu Investment Arm, TIA, Authority rather. Now, because TIA was going through a lot of initial difficulties, mostly we have proven was caused by Jolo. Jolo was there even before Datuk Seri Najib knew him. Jolo already knew the Sultan of Terengganu, somehow or other. He knew Sultan of Terengganu. And he's made his presence and influence, and in fact brought Sultan of Terengganu to Abu Dhabi to impress upon the Sultan of Terengganu the Mubadalah concept of sovereign fund. So that's how TIA was formed, as a sovereign fund for the state of Terengganu. Very clear. Datuk Seri Najib was just a deputy prime minister, had no idea what was going on in TIA. Okay? Now, then as I've said, things got a bit more difficult until the Sultan was upset. He was then also the Agong, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So they decided, give up TIA, give it to the federal government, let the federal government take it. This is important because it shows Datuk Seri Najib never planned to have a 1 MDB or a TIA. He never planned it. He inherited this problem from TIA. Okay, that's important. When he took over TIA, that's when, more or less about the time, Jolo also has penetrated, as you know, earlier on with the in the Prime Minister's office through Amhari, the Deputy Prime Minister's office through Amhari, and then through the Economic Planning Unit, EPU. You remember there were 2-3 characters, including Amhari and Sharul too. All these had been penetrated by Jolo. And as a result of which, Jolo also makes simultaneous approach through his brother, not through him, through his brother, which this witness said he didn't know. Because Jolo's brother was studying at the London School of Economics and Political Science with Riza, which is who is the stepson of Datuk Seri Najib. That's how Jolo also came in to get to know Datuk Seri Najib through the family of Datuk Seri Najib. So he used the same method. How he got to know the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the Sultan of Terengganu, how he penetrated EPU, how he penetrated officers that finally became the officers of Datuk Seri Najib, is the same technique he used. The idea is to influence them, all with a bad motive. That we have shown. Okay. Number 2, straight away upon having TIA, while it was still TIA, you remember the IMTN bonds were already in the issue. Now, from TIA, it became 1 MDB, but within TIA itself, you remember Jolo pretended to have no salary, nothing, yet he was very active. But something was not right, because a person who works so hard, yet not getting any money, there must be something really wrong. And true enough, in IMTN, you remember it was a 5 billion ringgit bond. He has arranged with M Invest, which is M Bank, for M Bank to buy it at 4.3 billion, which means there is a discount of 700 million ringgit. 700 million is a lot of money. But dishonesty was on the part of both Jolo and his group and M-Bank. Because we have shown that M-Bank bought at 4.3, sold it to Jolo, two companies, Actis and Country Group, at 4.3. And within 1 or 2 days, they sold it back to government entities like EPL and other government entities like that, and insurance companies for the full purchase price. In fact, at either 100 ringgit is each unit full price. Sometime there was 1 or 2 occasions when they sold it at 110 ringgit. So within 1 or 2 days, with the bank's knowledge, they sold at full price. The bank didn't benefit. The bank only benefited by the fees. Somebody surely in the bank with Jolo made that 500 odd million of money. So straight away you realize that Jolo has started doing this. You will have to ask yourself a question. Don't tell us that at this time Datuk Seri Najib is already working with Jolo to make money, because this is what they call a rogue operation. Rogue operation. It is not an operation that one can even give any respect. From the beginning, you're dealing with thieves. Jolo is a thief. Now, that is one episode. Okay? Now, then you come to the next episode. The next episode started early this week. You remember the PSI, Petrol Saudi deal. How did the Petrol Saudi deal come to us? Now, according to from yesterday notes and the cross-examination, it says because of a letter sent by Prince Turki Faisal. Yeah? Prince Turki sent to Datuk Seri Najib a letter with an attachment from Petro Saudi letter. Okay? Now, Petro Saudi letter invites and say, look, we can do a good venture, we can do a JVC, one MDB and us, because it's between two friends, and that is nothing wrong, because Datuk Seri Najib is a friendly Malaysian party to joint venture with a Saudi company. Okay? As a Prime Minister, I have already put this matter forward. As a Prime Minister, how could he do research to find out whether Petro Saudi is a real company, genuine or not? The people who must do must be one MDB. They themselves. The CEO is being paid 99,000 a month. He got 18 months bonus. Okay? So surely he must do this job to find out. But he didn't do anything. He said he accept what Petro Saudi say 100% without even looking for the annual report, without even going into the website to find out who are these Petro Saudi people. Okay? None of them. So having not done that, he accepted blindly. Then we found out later on, subsequently, later on you will know about this, that Petro Saudi is actually a sham. It's not a real company. It is a company, but it doesn't have the asset as it claimed. Okay? Now, that is what Datuk Sharul, in fact, testified. But the worst thing he testified is this. Although the board of 1MDB did not sound happy about going into the deal, but because these people persuaded the board on the pretext that Datuk Seri Najib wants it, Datuk Seri Najib wants it. Of course Datuk Seri Najib wants it, but providing everything else is proper lah. If everything else is good, of course Datuk Seri Najib wants to enter. If it is not good, if it is in fact a scam, why should the Prime Minister say go ahead? Alright? When the Prime Minister say I'm keen, I want to go ahead, it's because he assumed everything is good. Okay? Now, the board finally authorized, okay, enter into the agreement with PSI, which is Petro Saudi International. Now, as they were about to decide on this, Jolo and his gang set up a company called Petro Saudi Cayman in Cayman Island, which apparently has got nothing to do with Petro Saudi. Okay? Why the similarity of the name? Because they want to trick 1MDB into believing that this is a subsidiary of Petro Saudi International. And Datuk Sharul again, without checking, Petro Saudi International is different from Petro Saudi Cayman. He realized it, but he relied on Casey Tang, who is Jolo's appointee in 1MDB. He said, I rely on Casey. Casey said, okay, it's okay. Never check with with their own lawyers, because 1MDB has got solid lawyers. Never check at all. And they entered into an agreement with the wrong company. This is the wrong company that actually took our money. Okay? All these were designed principally by Jolo with the help of some people in Petro Saudi, and in the case of IMTN, with the help of some people in the M-Bank. Okay? Then this morning, from morning until now, you realize that we have got episodes to show you how some documents are just created. There was no meeting. There was no briefing to Datuk Seri Najib. One of them is this. There is no such thing as a meeting between the chairman of the advisory board, and Datuk Sharul. There is no such post standing alone. That post, you are called chairman of the board of advisors, is because you must chair the meeting of the board of advisors, which must have minimum 4%. All our advisors, including Datuk Seri Najib. When he chairs, he's called a chairman of the board of advisors. But Sharom thinks that take the chairman alone, sits with him, and they can have a meeting together, which was a total nonsense. Now, you cannot expect the Prime Minister to know about how company meetings are organized. You cannot expect that, because this is micromanaging. People who should advise him properly should be people like Datuk Sharul. People in 1MDB. They never advised him. They made him sign. But luckily, in all those papers that he signed, he never say, go ahead with the signing. He never say, go ahead with the transaction. He has carefully expressed and say, please do due diligence. Please do due diligence, because he knows, at least our Prime Minister, our former Prime Minister know that people who must make decisions must be the board of directors, because they are the people who decide for the company finally. The Prime Minister, as Prime Minister, can overrule under 117, can. But he has never exercised that power under 117. Never once. As Prime Minister, he's never exercised. That power is there, like the power of the Prime Minister in Petronas. Okay? That's clear? Any question before I go into Malay?
But you mentioned about during the proceedings just now that you brought out a bundle of documents where Datuk Seri Najib signed. What was that all about?
That is the document in relation to the so-called the Datuk Sharul sitting with Datuk Seri Najib alone. Two of them. Datuk Seri Najib had a meeting with him as chairman of the board of advisors. This is the one I say it cannot exist. Chairman of the board of advisors must sit with advisors in a meeting of advisors. Minimum 4%. If you sit with Datuk Seri Najib, you're sitting with Datuk Seri Najib. These minutes are all fraudulent.
The documents were forged.
Fraud. No, not forged. They were fraudulent. There's no minutes, there's no meeting that took place, there's no decision making that took place. All these were created. That is our case. You understand?
Tan Sri, do you still have much more to go to cross-examine Datuk Sharul?
I think I'll take the whole of next week, yeah.
The whole next week still got about 50% or 20%, not yet, you're not sure.
No.
Much.
It's maybe another 45% more to go.
So about 55% complete already.
Because the initial part will be tough. Yes. We have already entered the first phase of Petro Saudi. And then we are going to go to Aba and so on.
Yes.
Yeah? All right, any other question?
Tan Sri, can I ask other questions?
Sure.
Is Datuk Sri Najib going to Bukit Aman tomorrow for the Nga Komeng posting? Alleged defamatory
Witness. Because you must know this Nga Komeng complaint is related to what the Sultan of Selangor has complained about purportedly comment statement, because I think they assume that he made that, and therefore the Sultan complained. And I think Datuk Seri Najib, if I'm not mistaken, also make comments after the Sultan of Selangor have said something. So he is invited as a witness
On tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah,
We'll be going to Peguam tomorrow.
as a witness. Yeah,
Do you know around what's the time he's
but
going?
we don't know.
But it's tomorrow,
It could be, yeah, it could be in the afternoon. I'm not sure.
As witness.
As a witness. No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, there's nobody, because he's just a witness. He's not an accused person. Yeah,
So he won't go with lawyers, assistants.
I don't think so.
But will you be consulting with him about this matter today?
He
or-
has asked me.
Okay.
He has asked me, and I found out that he's required as a witness, nothing more.
Okay.
Okay? Because obviously, because they can't interview the Sultan of Selangor, so they have to interview someone. Okay?
Okay, thank you.